Namaste guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to this brand new flow. My name is Bethany, I am the Yogi Witch, and today we're going to go through a really gorgeous deep body stretch with a yin magic practice. So today we're going to come into some yin inspired poses, some really deep hold poses, and kind of not only explore the boundaries of our body both physically and emotionally, but start to kind of strengthen our attitude when we come to the practice. So a lot of the times in yoga, slow flows are considered the hardest form of yoga, just because it's very difficult to be silent, to be patient, and to sit with the pose. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. We're really going to be tuning into our breath, really tuning into our emotions, and just kind of giving the body a little bit of TLC in this 30-minute practice. So for today's flow, you're going to grab yourself a couple of blocks if you have them. If you don't worry, you can swap them out for blocks or books, etc. Grab yourself any candles, any incense that you want to work with, maybe a cup of tea, put on your favorite music, make it so delicious, and when you're ready, I will meet you back here so we can get started. Okay, my darlings, just a disclaimer before we begin, there is yet again another windy day here in Pembrokeshire, and I have very bad windows. Who can afford to replace them in this day and age? So if you happen to hear wind in the background, let's just go with it. Let's embracing it as a cleansing element that it is, and yeah, just disclaimer. All right, let's begin, my darlings, by coming to lie all the way flat on the back. Place those blocks to one side. And we're going to take a full body stretch, so sweeping those arms up and overhead, pointing those fingertips, pointing the toes, drawing the belly button in and up those ribs. And then keeping this length, we're simply going to slide the hands and the feet over to the left-hand side of our mat, maybe even crossing the right foot on top of the left. Beautiful. We inhale, move through center. Exhale, send the hands and the feet over to the right-hand side. Left foot steps on top of the right. Beautiful. Inhale, slide the body into the center. Relax the arms down by your side. And from here, we're going to bend the knees. Bring the knees to touch. Walk the feet to the edges of our mat. And just relax ourselves into the practice. As always, choosing the energy you'd like to welcome in. If you're looking, oh God, Ro, you scared me. If you're looking for that healing energy, then flip those palms up towards the sky. If you're looking for that strengthening energy, then flip those palms down into the earth. Just a quick little walk on screen from the cat. And then coming in to the practice a little bit more by taking a deep breath in through the nose. And a slow breath all the way out. Beginning to connect our energies as a collective coven here on the mat. Slowing down the breath here by inhaling through the nose. And exhale slowly out the nose. Feeling our spine connect with the floor from the crown of the head to the base. Feeling our connection with the earth beneath us from the back of the head all the way down to the base of the spine, the sit bones. Feeling our feet connect, our arms. And feeling our heart connect to the heavens above us. And my darlings, if you would like to set yourself an intention for the practice ahead, you can do so here, setting it in your mind, sealing it with your breath. Now, there's no right or wrong intention you can make. It's whatever calls to you, whatever comes to you. So set it here. As we inhale. And then on our exhale, we're going to walk those feet to touch and immediately allow those knees to fall over to the right hand side. Gaze comes over to the left, just coming into a simple little spinal twist here. Inhale, knees move through center. Exhale, shift your twist. Beautiful. We inhale, bring these knees to the center. This time, we're going to go a little bit deeper with our twist and coming to cat pulling its tail pose. So bring those arms into a T shape for now. We lift the knees to the chest, and from here, we're going to allow them to fall over to the right hand side. Now from here, this left leg is going to slide all the way back. So the right foot sits just on top of it. So not crossing that ankle, just resting it on top. You can stay with those arms in T-shape, especially if it feels like enough for your hip, or if you want to bring yourself into a pretzel shape. Left hand finds left foot, so you start to feel an arch in the spine. Right hand takes hold of right knee, and we gaze over to the left hand side. Now it's quite an intense stretch, so it's okay if those knees are a little bit high to the sky. Just soften it a little bit by stacking those knees. But we're going to hold it here for 5 breaths, breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the nose. Oh, the seagulls have come now. Realities of living in a harbour. Take a deep inhale. And then on our exhale, we're going to straight away move and take this pose to the other side. So gently bring those knees through center. They fall to the left-hand side, left foot. Rest just on top of that right knee. Right hand finds right foot, left hand finds the top of the thigh, or even that knee. Oh, these stormy days, eh? Inhale, bring these knees into the center, hug them nice and close, and give that lower spine a little bit of a rock here. You can intensify it by lifting the shoulders, lifting the head, squeezing the knees close. Beautiful. Before we relax the shoulders and the head down, and we're going to come to happy baby. So option to take underneath the knees and gently separate the legs, or option to take hold of the outside of the feet. But we're not going to come into it without any activation. Press into that lower spine, draw those shoulders down, and start to breathe through this pose. Now, happy baby is a pose that I never know why it's called happy baby. It's not very happy in this pose. It really stretches, which I don't like. So just keep that breath nice and steady. 5 inhales, 5 exhales. Two more breaths. Beautiful. We inhale. Exhale. Bring feet to touch. Bring knees to touch. Hug them close. Lift the shoulders, lift the head. A little bit of self-love here. And then we extend the legs to the sky, cross those ankles, and taking a few rocks, massage the spine. We begin to roll forwards and roll back. Doesn't have to be fast, doesn't have to be crazy, but just massage the spine from the base to the neck. Yes. Before we find our way into a seated position. From this seated position, if it's available, legs are going to be crossed. And we're going to roll shoulders away from the ears. Left hand comes beside us. Sweep right arm up and overhead here. Not letting that right arm fall in the front of the face. Pull it back, open up that heart. Inhale. On your exhale, we roll the body up, and as we do, left hand floats to right knee, right arm floats behind. Move it into your twist. Beautiful. Inhale, float arms up and overhead. Exhale, right hand beside us, left arm overhead. Side body stretch. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, find twist to left hand side. Beautiful. Inhale, bring the body into the center. Sweep those arms up and overhead once more. Left hand comes over to the right hand side of the head. And we're going to take a gorgeous neck stretch by leaning the head to the left hand side and extend the right arm. Flex the hand. Inhale, float arms up and overhead. Exhale, switch your stretch. Beautiful. Inhale, reach those arms up and overhead. Gaze between the thumbs, drop the head back. Inhale. Beautiful. Exhale, bring the hands in front of you, and let's roll to tabletop. From our tabletop, we're going to take a few simple cat-cow stretches, spreading the fingers, stacking hips above the knees, shoulders above the wrist. Let's work through our cat-cow. So inhaling to drop the chest, gaze forwards. Exhale to curve the spine, push the ceiling away. Beautiful. Keep taking your movements. Inhaling, gaze forwards. Exhale, curve the spine. One more time, either side. No rush. Before we bring the spine to a neutral position, and from here, we're going to find those blocks. Remember, if you're working with blocks, you're working with books or pillows, it doesn't matter. What we're going to do is we're going to take the blocks about shoulder width apart, and we're going to bend the elbows so the elbows come to rest onto them. Keep hip bones stacked on top of the knees. I'm going to come to a deep puppy pose hold. So hands come to prayer, and you're just going to shuffle the head in between the arms. Take as much movement as you like to comfortable. These thumbs rest on the back of the neck, and we start to feel that gorgeous arch in the spine. Puppy prayer. Praying that we all have a basket of puppies on our doorstep, healthy and happy after this flow. My greatest wish. Remembering, if it's too intense with the blocks, just move those blocks away and come to classic puppy pose. Also known as melting heart in Yin Yoga. But wherever you've chosen to be, we're going to stay here for 10 breaths. It's quite a long time. So just keep breathing through it. Test your boundaries. Test your physical boundaries, your emotional boundaries. Test your patience. Five more breaths. 2 more breaths. Now to move out of this pose, we're going to move slowly by first pressing into the elbows, begin to round to the shoulders and lift the head all the way through. Oh, I can feel my hair's going to be messed up after this. And then place one hand to the block. Place another round into the spine and push the ceiling away. Push, push, push. Beautiful. Before we bring big toes to touch, take the knees wide. Keep one of those blocks by us. Place one block away. And we're going to slide to child's pose. And we're going to place this block between the eyebrows here. Relax those arms down with option to take them down by your side. But coming into a little bit of restorative child's pose, I like to add this block in just because it kind of brings in almost like a massaging element. So a little bit of pressure for that third eye, activating and opening it. You can go even further by giving it a little wiggle from side to side. Move slowly here. Reminding yourself of the intention you set at the beginning of this practice. Beautiful. Before staying in this child's pose, we slide left arm forward and we thread the right arm underneath, coming in to a thread the needle child's pose. Gorgeous little shoulder stretch. Inhale, press into left hand, untangle right arm and switch the stretch to the other side, darling. Inhale, press into right hand, untangle left arm. From here, we press both hands to the mat and roll the body to tabletop, taking hold of our blocks and bringing them to the side for now. We're going to move first into a tabletop, knees come to touch, and then straight away from here, we're going to slide that right foot between the blocks, coming into our dragon pose. Tuck left toes under and slide that left leg back. Move those blocks onto their sides, onto their bottoms or tops. I don't know which way a block works. And then from here, we're going to start to sink into this front knee. Keep the chest lifted. Now, this is quite an intense pose. Coming in to dragon pose. In about 5 seconds, you're going to know why it's called dragon pose. We're going to feel that fire. So from here, we're just going to close the eyes, roll the shoulders away from the ears, and hold it. So we're not just passively coming into it, really hoping our body stays in place. We're pressing into that right foot to keep us steady. Those blocks are keeping us supported, and we really feel that gorgeous stretch down the right leg. If you are looking for a splits in your practice, then this is definitely a stretch for you. But we're going to aim to hold it for 10 breaths. I know this is a long time, but we can do it. Distract yourselves by just focusing on your breath. Every inhale and every exhale. 5 more breaths, you've got it. Feeling that body sink a little bit deeper. As we inhale. Yes, using those blocks of support, moving very slowly. We begin to extend that front leg, lift the toes, and explore your half split. Use these blocks to help bend the elbows and relax the crown of the head down. Inhale, gaze at the toes. Exhale, slightly bend into that front knee and slide the foot back so we have a bit more support in like a low lunge. Release the blocks down and we're going to make a nice full body stretch transition. So what we do, hands to the mat, we pivot left toes, left hand side, slide that right leg out, lift up and take a full body stretch here. Maybe some wrist rolls, maybe some ankle rolls as we inhale. On our exhale, coming straight away into another deep hip stretch, right hand to the mat, knees come to touch. We slide right knee to right wrist and guide that foot across. Tuck the left toes under and slide it all the way back. Taking a block underneath this right hip to give ourselves support, we're going to come into pigeon pose. So remembering to use any props that you need, we're going to relax the body down and again staying here for 10 breaths. In through the nose and out through the nose. From my experience, both as a student and a teacher, I find that pigeon pose is really Marmite pose. You either love it or you hate it. I have grown to love this pose just because I've seen the benefits for my body and the mobility it's brought me. But if you hate it, that is okay. It's absolutely fine. Just question yourself why you hate it. Is it because it hurts? If there's any sharp sensations, those always come out. But is it because you are testing your sense of patience? You're testing your ability to stay in a pose for a long time. Maybe with silence. Just your thoughts. Five more breaths. Together we inhale. And exhale, gently press the hands to the mat and lift the body up. Coming onto the fingertips for a brief little back bend. Give that body a wiggle. Inhale. Yes, exhale. We move that block from under the right hip and slide that right leg back. Taking any kind of movements here that you need, maybe in a down dog, maybe in a tabletop. It is completely up to you. But taking any movements that feels good to you. Before we move back to tabletop, find those blocks, flip them first onto the side, and then we slide left foot through, wiggle it forwards, tuck right toes under, send it back, and then we pop the blocks onto the heads or bottoms, whatever we decided they were. Coming back into dragon pose to the other side. So use the blocks to keep the heart lifted, untuck back toes and sink into that front hip. Immediately recognizing if one side's a little bit tight than the other, then that is absolutely fine. 10 breaths here, darlings. You have got it. Oh, my left side is so much tighter. I'm not gonna lie, I find dragon pose so difficult. It really does test my patience, and I have been in some yin yoga classes. We've held it for about 5 to 10 minutes, and it's like a 7th layer of hell, I swear, when I do it. 5 more breaths, darlings. Breathe through it. As we inhale, exhale, we gently move to half split. Do not rush it because the leg's going to be a little bit tender. Extend the front leg, lift the toes, forward fold at the elbows, and start to explore that hamstring stretch. Inhale. Exhale, bend into that front knee. We start to just move those blocks aside for a moment. Hands come to the mat. Taking that full body stretch we did before, pivot right toes to the right hand side and slide left leg all the way out. Reach it up and start to take some wrist rolls. Start to take some ankle rolls. Oh, sorry, plant. As we inhale, exhale, left hand to the mat. Release left knee down, briefly coming into pigeon pose. Slide left knee, left wrist, guide it across. Tuck right toes under, and we slide it all the way back, placing that block underneath the hip, just support here, because we don't want to find ourselves falling over to one side, hurting those knees, hurting those hips. And then come in to your most comfortable position in your pigeon pose for 10 breaths. In through the nose and out through the nose. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose, 5 more breaths. Inhale. Beautiful. Exhale. Hands come to the mat. Move to the fingertips. First coming into a little bit of a back bend just to open up that heart. Inhale. Exhale. Place those hands down. Move that block from underneath the left hip and let's take, oh my God, that's intense, that hip stretch. Either in a tabletop variation or even a down dog variation. Completely up to you here. Whatever feels good to you. Beautiful. Before we come back to a down dog, swing those legs forward and let's find the block. So we're going to come to the final meditation, Shavasana, also in the final pose, or fish pose, one of my favorite back bends. So what we're going to do is going to place one block acting as a pillow, and the second block is going to come in between the shoulder blades. So avoiding that lower spine at all costs, slide it up towards the neck and gently begin to relax the body down. Now you're going to have to wiggle it a little bit just to get comfortable, but you will know when you found the pose because those shoulders will be able to roll open quite effortlessly and you'll be able to get comfortable. Feeling that heart open up towards the sky. Keep the knees bent, or you can extend them here. Completely up to you, but we're going to take our final Shavasana, our final pose here in fish pose, a little bit of a different variation today. This is just a quick and simple yin magic practice. If you're a fan of yin, then on my Coven memberships, I do have a couple of hour-long practices, which are just scrumptious. But begin now to soften the breath. If you're listening to this video without any music in the background, then maybe start to tune away to the sound of the wind. Feeling the warmth of your home and that cleansing breath of wind. Feeling that body relax here in fish pose. And for the final 10 breaths, if you'd like to go a little bit deeper, you're welcome to move that block from underneath the head and start to open up the throat chakra.
And if you'd like to stay here longer, as always, I invite you to do so, knowing that I'm sending so much love and so much magic to you. If you're ready to come out, then begin to wiggle the fingers, toes, before gently bending one leg, bending another, and allow the body to roll off the block to one side of your mat, coming into a little bit of a baby pose here, closing the eyes and just relaxing down. Before keeping the eyes closed and the head heavy, we lift the body all the way up into a comfortable seated position. Rolling shoulders away from the ears, flip the palms to the sky, resting the back of the hands on the knees. Feel aligned, feel rebalanced, feel restored, my darlings. And then bow head to heart, heaven to earth, to ourselves for coming to the mat, bowing with gratitude to those who joined us as a collective coven, and bowing with gratitude as always from me to you, thanking you so much for joining me here today and experiencing the magic of yin with me. I really hope you feel a little bit more space in the body, a bit more peace in the mind. If you enjoyed it, like I said, over on my Coven membership, I do have a couple of hour-long yin yoga practices, and there'll be definitely more coming over there soon as well here on YouTube. But any support is appreciated. Any like, subscribe, comment, you know the drill. But thanking you so much, my darlings, for joining me here, and I really hope to see you again soon. Blessed be.